Marketing That Works is the podcast for business owners who want to move their brand forward so that they can bring in more sales and clients. I'm Danielle Harris, and I'm bringing you what I know from more than 12 years of experience in traditional and online marketing. I have created marketing strategies for businesses of all sizes, from multi-million-dollar corporations to early-stage online businesses. Remember, some marketers chase fads. I believe in mastering the fundamentals. Have you ever asked your coach for their honest opinion on a piece of content, gotten a list of what to approve, and then just sat on it? If you notice that you rarely implement the feedback your coach gives you, or you feel even worse after getting feedback, I know the reason why. After this episode, you'll know why you aren't implementing the feedback you asked for and what you can do instead so that you get the support you actually need to start producing content that will grow your business. Let me start by saying this is something I've experienced myself and something I've noticed others doing. You feel as if you're in a slump in your business and you feel like your marketing isn't working the way you want. You think something must be wrong, so you ask for feedback, thinking this feedback is what I will need to get me back on track and out of this slump. So you get the feedback you asked for and then somehow feel worse, more frustrated, deeper in the slump. And the reason why is because you didn't actually want feedback. At that moment, what you actually needed was confirmation and reassurance that things were going to be okay. So let's say you've been sending emails every week for 2 months and no one has clicked to book a call to learn how to work with you. You were so excited to start emailing, but after 8 weeks, you're starting to think this might not work. You're feeling discouraged. So you ask for feedback, thinking that will fix everything. But when you ask for feedback, you're asking someone to list out all of the things you are not doing right. You are already thinking this isn't working, and you just got a detailed list of all the reasons why from someone you trust why it isn't working. That piles on to the list you already had in your head. It's no wonder you feel worse. Psychologist and MacArthur Genius Fellow Angela Duckworth has made that same conclusion in her research. She says that when you're building new skills, as in marketing your business, what you actually need is more encouragement. She states that mentors and coaches and advisors tend to give feedback as if you've been doing this work for decades. When this happens, you feel discouraged and less likely to want to keep working on it. This isn't you. This is a lack of training and awareness from the mentor. But there is something that you can do to make sure you get the support that you need when you need it from your coaches and mentors. So I want to assure you that you aren't weird for feeling discouraged after getting feedback. And if you keep listening, I'm going to break down how to ask for the type of coaching and mentorship you need to reach your goals. Now, before asking for support, I want you to take inventory of how you're feeling about your marketing. This is going to require you to slow down a bit and really assess what's going on and what may be the most helpful for you in the moment. For example, if your energy around your work is mostly positive and confident that you're only a few tweaks away from everything clicking, then asking for feedback may be a good idea. Because you are ready and eager to get the ideas, test them out, and you're in a good spot to hear critiques and suggestions. If that's you, wait around, because I'm going to give you a tip on how to ask for even better feedback. On the other hand, if you find that you are mostly frustrated by your project and find yourself to be a little discouraged, then feedback isn't going to be the most supportive option for you at that moment. Now, have you ever seen a toddler scream because they couldn't open their applesauce packet? They throw it down and cry just because they can't seem to get it open. And then when the parent comes, the first thing that the parent does is affirm that opening applesauce can be tricky, and they affirm that it is okay to ask for help. They calm the toddler and ask if they'd like help. Without them calming down, there would be no point in explaining how to open the applesauce because they are just so overwhelmed and frustrated to really understand. Believe it or not, you're having a similar experience to this toddler. Now, I'm not calling you childish here, but what I am saying is that you're experiencing new things as you grow your business for the first time. You've excelled in your career, but starting from the beginning, needing help and being vulnerable, it can be frustrating. You might even be resisting the urge to throw your laptop and cry. And just like a toddler, you need the same space to express yourself and be supported as you try new things. When you're feeling frustrated, you want a coach or mentor that will understand that this isn't the time to give you feedback, but instead is trained to help you process, regulate, and then recenter through space and reassurance. That way, when the time comes for feedback, you are able to adapt and adopt it. Getting frustration out of your system with someone you trust is the support you need at that moment. You've experienced it before, that feedback right away isn't helpful. Airing out your frustration to someone who sees you and can offer support when asked is what you need the most. I do this often with my clients. I know that digging into the feedback and the strategy right away isn't what's helpful. Sometimes the tears need to flow, and I don't rush that with my clients. That is why it is so important that you find a person or community where you can be vulnerable. Then, after you've expressed all that frustration, take inventory again and see if you're ready to take feedback. You'll know you're ready because that weight that was on your chest before, it's been lifted, at least a little bit, and you feel the capacity to try at least one thing. After you've assessed that, you're ready for feedback, either because you are ready vented or you're in a spot where you're confident that a couple tweaks will be all it takes to get you to the finish line. I don't want you to just ask for feedback. I also want you to ask for what you're doing well. Ideally, ask for a compliment and an area to improve. I want you to ask your coach or mentor or whoever for things that you're doing really well and things that you can work on. Because we as humans, we tend to believe and focus more on the negative than we do the positive. You want to reinforce that while there may be things you can improve, you do in fact have things that you are doing really well and to keep doing those things. For example, with my client, she asked for feedback on her About Me section of her sales page. So I shared pieces that I loved and stood out and explained which areas could be reframed. My client was able to walk away feeling empowered and ready to take action. So to recap, before asking for any feedback, I want you to assess what type of support you most need in that moment by noticing what you're thinking. Are you thinking you just need a tweak, or are you thinking about tossing your laptop across the room? If you're ready to toss that laptop, go vent to a coach or a mentor or someone you trust. Release it all. Ask for affirmation and reassurance in what you're going through. And lastly, when you are actually ready to get feedback because that weight has been lifted off your chest and you're ready to try something, I want you to ask for one thing you can improve on as well as something you're doing well. In my one-on-one messaging program, The Blueprint, I provide not only the strategy to start attracting and signing dream clients, but the support when marketing feels difficult. I support you every step of the way as you build your business. During this 3-month program, you'll get weekly support reviewing content, access to me between sessions as roadblocks show up, and supportive feedback that you feel empowered to take action on. Head to the show notes and book a call to get started working with me. On this call, we'll talk for an hour about how you can start creating content and marketing that really speaks to your dream client. Okay, y'all, I'll talk to you next time. If you want more marketing that works right in your inbox, head to the show notes and sign up for the email list. You'll be the first to know how you can work with me on mastering your marketing.